going to deliver sinners unto death and destruction. Verse 27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For the Most High shall not deliver you, because you have sinned against him. So if people ask all the time, how do we make it through this? It's coming. Don't be a sinner, because he's not going to deliver sinners. And these plagues that come upon the earth are going to hit the sinners. All right, that's crystal clear. Now, going into Damascus in Assyria, verse 28. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east. So Esdras is looking to the east and seeing something that's horrible. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. So that's what we're seeing right now. You're seeing these rebels going in from other countries, joining in battle like wild boars. The scripture says raging in wrath will go forth as wild boars and will waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand. So now that all of these rebels have caused this strife in Syria, this civil war, now the dragons, those who are under Satan, like the American government and all other allies, the nations of the dragons of Arabia, come together having the upper hand, remembering their nature, that they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So what you're seeing going on between the American government, the European governments, the Arab governments, the media, is great conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Verse 32. Then these shall trouble bled and keep silence through their power and shall flee. All right, so we've already seen people fleeing out of Syria, and you're going to see more people fleeing out of that country. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them. This is the burden of Damascus. This is the America and all the allies coming against the Assyrians and besieging them, and consume some of them. And in host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. So you have problems within the Syrian government, within their politicians, because of fear and dread, because all of this stuff is to happen. And what do? All right, so it's going to happen. One way or another, it's going to happen. Verse 34. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. So we've seen some of these clouds already in Syria with these what look to be tactical nukes, with these big mushroom clouds that go up in big balls of fire into the sky, where Israel was said to have launched those missiles into Syria. They had one at night time and they had one during the day. This is the vision that Esdras is seeing. This blitz that America is talking about doing on Syria here within a matter of however long, within the next few days, tomorrow maybe. These are those clouds, full of wrath and storm, horrible to look upon. Verse 35, he shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth. even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly. So when Esdras is looking at this vision, he's looking at these missiles coming out the sky, and he's comparing them to as fallen angels or stars falling out the sky like fireballs. Anyway, when you see in a movie and you see they show these aliens or their ships or, Superman coming out the sky like a ball of fire, that's a fallen angel or a star. So this is what Esdras is looking at these missiles as like stars, smiting down a great multitude upon the earth, and blood shall from the sword unto the belly, a dung of men unto the camel's hoof. Verse 37, and there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth. And when this happens, it's happening now. War War III really starts to get kicked off. It's going to be fearfulness and trembling upon earth. People are going to see this, and they're going to know what time it is. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. So when you watch these tactical nukes going up in Syria, hear these Arabs in the background or Syrians yelling out Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, which means like, oh my God. It says, they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. Verse 38, and then shall there come great storm from the south and from the north, and another part from the west. So there's going to be missiles coming from everywhere going into Syria. America has warships in the Mediterranean. It's got in Iraq. It's got Turkey as an ally. It's got Jordan as an ally. So Syria is surrounded. It's got Israel as an ally. You're going to see missiles coming from south, north, and the west. Verse 39, and strong winds shall arise from the east, and shall open it. And the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the stars stirred to cause fear toward the east, and west wind shall be destroyed. The great and mighty cloud shall be puffed up, full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place a horrible star. So this is how Damascus will be made a ruinous heap, the burden of Damascus. And when you look at this horrible star, you can think of this possibly being a nuclear explosion, a horrible star. Verse 41, fire and hail and flying swords and many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. Verse 42, and they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of wood, and grass of the meadows, and their corn. All right, so this is all the destruction and the meat of what we were reading of Isaiah 17:1 and what's going to happen to Damascus and portions of Syria. Verse 43, and they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. So now, after all of this has happened to Syria, eventually the war is going to shift over to America. Why is this war going to shift over to America? You see how America now is pretty much being isolated as the only country looking to strike Syria, or the main country. All the other European countries are kind of dropping out. Iran says it will launch back at America. Syria said it will launch back. Russia said it will launch back. So this is a pre-planned destiny of America. And we talked about in past broadcasts 4 or 5 months ago, we did a series on the New Atlantis. with the original founders of like Sir Francis Bacon, who wrote the book of Atlantis. And this was these Rosicrucians' plan from the very beginning, was to found America, to build it up as this great empire, only to destroy it. And the reason why Obama now is being put in the seat as being impeached or being tried for war crimes, because he's gung-ho for going to war against Syria, regardless of what the evidence says or what countries won't stand with him. This is all a plan, because Obama's going to be okay. But the vengeance is now going to turn toward the American people, because when this war comes back to America, the American government will already be waging war on the people. Now here come the other countries to say, you know what, America has been the one behind all these wars for all these years. America is the world's problem. We need to take her down. All right, and they'll go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star in wrath shall pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. So let's talk about, first of all, what countries are going to come against America, and then who are these that shall be around her, that's bewailing her destruction. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 13 now. Isaiah 13, verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amoz did see. Lift up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Most High of hosts mustered the host of the battle. So these are all of those nations that have gathered together to come against America, that we just read of in 2 Ezra 15, that shall besiege her. Verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Most High, in the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. So they've come from all over the earth to destroy all of America. Verse 6. Howl ye, for the day of the Most High is at hand. It shall come as destruction from the Almighty. So this is part of the day of the Lord, which leads up to the day of Christ's return. All of this is precursor and leading up to Christ coming back. Must happen before he returns. Verse 7. Therefore all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. We just read that in 2 Ezra 15. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Most High cometh, cruel with wrath and fierce anger. Lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Same thing we read in 2 Ezra 15. The sinners are about to be destroyed. Christians that are not keeping the law are in trouble. Verse 10, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light